We're here to talk with the incredible novelist Colson Whitehead, who has been a real force in the American literary world. We are going to be talking about the span of his career, including his most recent novel, The Underground Railroad, which won the Pulitzer Prize, the National Book Award. He is in Corvallis today because he is accepting the Stone Award for Literary Achievement at Oregon State University. We've come down to Corvallis to talk with him in person. Thanks very much for doing this.
Hey, howdy. Thanks for having me. You get up at 5, catch a plane, go to a different city, and then you might not be able to go to the hotel room. You're just doing interviews. But the best part is, the reading at night. People have taken time out of their day to, I never leave the house, so I can't imagine why you'd go to see someone read or give a talk. Thanks, OSU, for bringing me here. All you nice folks for coming out, and to the Stone family for endowing this award. Because the Underground Railroad, did take off in the way it did, I was traveling, going to different countries that were publishing it, meeting new publishers, and so I didn't have that stretch of time. And so I could either not write for 2.5 years, or I could learn to write on the road. It's based on a true story of a reform school called the Dozier School for Boys that was in Florida, and they would take in nonviolent offenders, teenagers, orphans, wards of the state, and warehouse them in this place where they worked on the farm and took classes. And as happens in those kind of places, there's a lot of abuse, physical, sexual. Some of the guards ended up killing some of the students and burying them in a secret graveyard. So my book is a fictionalized version of that. The Nickel Academy is the school. The Nickel Boys are the boys who were there in 1960s Jim Crow era Florida, and they try to survive. You can't really think about how well the last book did or what people will think of it. You have to sort of get your book on the page and then worry about everyone else later. And so I have books that have more conventional storylines, some that are a little more intricate and complex and hard to describe. But no matter if the story is simple or very complicated, day by day, page by page, I'm just saying, Colson, don't screw it up. My last 2 books, in terms of how focused they are and being more direct than say some of my more aggressive work, is because I was teaching and saying, what are you trying to get across? Why is this sentence here? Why is this character earning their space on the page? And I said it so many times that I actually started to follow my own advice. I like different kinds of fiction, and why not write a fantasy novel? Why not write a realistic novel? I grew up listening to David Bowie. He always had a new persona from album to album. Loving Stanley Kubrick, who could write his science fiction movie, his war movie, his black comedy. So it just seemed like that's what writers do, or artists do. They find different ways of talking about the world. I've had books that have done well, books that it comes out, no one really cares. And so I realized that this sort of bubble will not always be there. And then 10 years from now, when no one really cares and wants to invite me out, I can look back, fondly. I can pull out the tattered clipping of my appearance at Oregon State and think, oh, that was a good time.